Or is this why I am under a criminal trespass warning here in Valdosta in Lowndes County? Watch, educate yourself, and is it that me reporting what the South Georgia news media refuses to report? Is this why they have
to hear that? Because you know what? Valdosta Daily Times ain't gonna report this story. You know why? Because Valdosta Daily Times are tied in. Huh? No, they're not gonna report this.
In Lowndes County, the preachers are not talking. The teachers are not talking. The retired police officers are not talking. Even the mothers and fathers of these deceased inmates are not talking. So we must ask ourselves a question. What's wrong? And as we wait for the results of the second autopsy on the 17-year-old student at Lowndes County High School, Kendrick Johnson, we must ask ourselves, what is wrong here? And moreover, what's wrong in Macon, Georgia? I just got a call a few days ago. A mother, son died or was killed. She say murder in Macon, Georgia. And she believes that the conspiracy of that crime starts at the ground and go all the way up. Once again, the law enforcement, the politicians in the state of Georgia know about it, but nothing is being done. So I'm going to say again and again and again, what are we to do? What are the citizens to do when nobody will tell our story? We can't go to the newspaper because the newspapers don't care about us no more. We can't go to the TV stations because they are controlled by those apparently in the cliques and among the slicks. And so we are living in a world now.
And I'm glad to hear that, because you know what? Valdosta Daily Times ain't gonna report this story. You know why? Because Valdosta Daily Times are tied in. Huh? No, they're not gonna report this story.
That perhaps we need to talk to our young people. The young people tell me that the probation system here in South Georgia is in shambles. They believe that our jail is being ran like a prison. Because you already know that. This is nothing new for y'all. Don't act like you don't know nothing about it. There's no need of law enforcement acting like this is something new. There's no need of the Justice Department acting like this is something new. There's no need of the Georgia Attorney General acting like this is something new. There's no need of the governor of the state of Georgia acting like this is something new. You already know about it. You got a copy of the Chorus of Fear video. You already know. People write letters up there to you, to all of you, and you don't do nothing. And so I'm going to say again, what are the citizens to do? Are we to convert back our young people? Are you all forcing the young people to resort to what they did in the 60s? Is that what you all want? Or are you trying to force them into joining the Crips and the Bloods and the Folk and other organizations that will hear their cries because our politicians and those in law enforcement, we don't have anybody to represent us anymore. We can't even get our story told. Once again, when my rights were violated, you would think that the Valdosta Daily Times, our only newspaper, you would think that they would be concerned about a citizen's constitutional rights being denied. You would think Channel 6 right over here Channel 27 over there, NBC down there, Fox up there, and other TV stations down there, you would think that somebody would want the general public to know what was going on. It is much like the meeting that took place over in Brooks County on July the 17th, I think it was, when the Board of Elections had a meeting and many problems was highlighted in that meeting. DVDs were provided to the Secretary of State investigator, Glenn Austin. And yet, as of today, we haven't heard nothing from the Secretary of State from the state of Georgia, Brian P. Kemp, about that investigation. So the people in Brooks County are left deaf, dumb, and blind to the times and unable to make intelligent decisions based on facts. Moreover, there was valid election complaints sent in to the Georgia Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, and till this day, no answer has been forwarded to the people, the voters in Brooks County. And the newspaper, the Whitman Free Press, haven't told you nothing about it. You don't know nothing about it. But if you look on this YouTube, you will find all of it, because I care and because I am tired of all of this stuff that's going on here. And we don't have nobody to represent us. Why in the hell are we sending our sons and our daughters to fight these wars and the government won't help us? Now I put 20 years plus and took my children across this country with me, and in the foreign countries, in Germany, my children went with me, only to return home to be issued a criminal trespass warning for violations I don't know nothing about. In fact, I didn't even know about the trespassing warning. And yet you, Mr. Attorney General, you, Mr. Governor, you, Justice Department, Civil Rights Organization, if you all can't hear me down here, then how can you blame the father and mother of Kendrick Johnson of not trusting the law enforcement to do their job?
And I'm glad to hear that, because you know what? But us, the Daily Times, ain't gonna report this story. You know why? Because but us, the Daily Times, are tied in. Huh? No, they're not gonna report.
The beauty of our form of government can only be measured by the beauty of its citizens. And when its citizens are ignored by the South Georgia News Media Network, then our government becomes something other than beautiful. And we know that we've had several meetings over the last decades, many meetings, wherein local citizen issues have been ignored. This is a journey through the process to let the world know that Valdosta and Lowndes County must change from the old 1860 charter mentality, which says that the mayor and council shall pass all proper and necessary laws and ordinances for the control of slaves and free persons of color, and to suppress and abate all nuisances arising from hogs, dogs, horses, or other animals. But today it seems as if though that old 1860 charter mentality is alive and well and have now been inflicted not only to black people but to everybody in Valdosta and Lowndes County, Georgia. So what will we tell our children?